What is up, everyone? Welcome back to GrayDays TV, and today I am going to be talking about the murder of Elizabeth Barraza. On the morning of Friday, January 25th of 2019, Elizabeth Liz Barraza, who was 29 at the time, was in the driveway of her home in Tomball, Texas. Her husband Sergio had just left for work at 6:48 a.m. and she was setting up a garage sale to help raise extra money for their 5th wedding anniversary trip to Florida. Approximately 4 minutes after Sergio left, a dark-colored Nissan Frontier pulled up across the street from their house. And the vehicle pulling up and what happened next was captured on a neighbor's surveillance camera. And in the video, you can see what appears to be a woman in a light-colored robe approach the driveway, though investigators are not sure whether the person is male or female. And the person walks up to Liz and pulls a gun on her. And after exchanging a few words, the person shoots Liz 3 times point blank. Liz then falls to the ground, and the person then leans over her, shoots her 1 more time, then flees to their vehicle and drives away. Now, I was reading through comments on Reddit about this case, and one person claimed that the person in the video actually hands Liz a note. The video, as you can see, is very blurry. I mean, it was taken from pretty far away, so you can't really be sure if they handed a note. But as far as what the person said, there was a note present and the police took that in as evidence, although they haven't given any further information on what the note had on it or anything like that. And they haven't told anyone about this, not even the husband in the case. And neighbors immediately called 911 after hearing the gunshots, and paramedics rushed Liz to the hospital, but sadly she died the next day due to her injuries.
Now a woman shot while setting up for a garage sale has died.
Yeah, surveillance video shows someone pulling up in a black pickup truck while 29-year-old Elizabeth Barraza was setting up for a garage sale just outside of a home in northwest Harris County early Friday morning.
So the fatal attack happened on the 25th. She died on the 26th. And her husband were actually supposed to leave for their trip to Florida for their anniversary on the 27th. I don't understand how someone could do this to her, Sergio said. She didn't deserve to pass away like this. Now, authorities say that Liz didn't publicize this garage sale at all, and that she only put up signs around the neighborhood the morning of it. And I also read articles where it was said that she planned on putting up signs after she set up everything and she was killed while she was setting up. So some articles say that she did post up signs, some say she didn't. I don't think that matters too much as far as investigating this case, because I'm not really sure if the person planned this murder around the garage sale. I think it was more of they were going to do it that day and they just sort of pulled up and she was outside and that's where they decided to do it. I don't think the garage sale really factored into it that much. And for people who I'm sure are thinking, well, the car pulled up as soon as the husband left, so he must have something to do with it. The truck was actually seen on surveillance cameras before Sergio left. So the truck was already in the neighborhood before Sergio, Liz's husband, left to go to work. And investigators believe that the shooter actually waited for Sergio to leave so that they could confront Liz while she was alone. Now, by all accounts, Liz is described as nothing but sweet and giving. And that's what makes this case so interesting. When you look at how she was killed and the time she was killed, it basically screams, hey, this is premeditated. This is something that was planned. But no one can really give a reason as to why she was killed in such a personal way. The fact that the killer walked up to her, she seemed to have some sort of conversation. You can see in the video that Liz reacts to the gun, because I think the shooter shows her the gun initially, and then that's when the shooter kind of brings out their left hand as if they're giving her something. And then the way they shoot, it seems so erratic at first, to where, to me, it seemed like it was someone who maybe hasn't shot someone before, but then in the end, when they look over her, lean over her, and shoot her for the last time, that 4th time, that makes it like it's someone who maybe is more familiar with a gun than most people are. As far as if it is a woman or a man, to me, when I look at the video, at least initially, it seems as though it's a woman, but when the person is running away, it does seem to look more masculine as far as the way they run. But, I mean, if you look on Reddit or any news article comment section on this, you're going to see that it's 50-50. No one really knows for sure if it was a man or a woman. And it's just guessing at this point for the most part. Now, Liz and her husband were members of the 501st Legion. I'm not sure if that's how they go by it, but that's how I'm going to say it. And that is a Star Wars fan group that would dress up in Star Wars costumes and visit children at the hospital. So again, all things considered, she seems like she was a genuine, nice, and giving person. And at the point of the articles that I read, there's no evidence that links Sergio to this in any way, and they seem to have had a happy marriage. And he hasn't incriminated himself in any way through the investigation of this case. He held a vigil for Liz shortly after her death. He has repeatedly asked the public for information regarding her death, and he continuously posts about her on his Facebook page to keep up awareness of what happened to her to hopefully solve the case. So in every way, he's acting as though he had nothing to do with it, and I personally don't believe that he did. How someone could be so monstrous to commit an act like this, I just really can't understand. I had to trade our 5th anniversary for a funeral. We need justice for Liz. I need justice for Liz. I love you, Liz. Now, it's been 6 months since this murder occurred, and investigators still have no leads on the case. Or if they do have leads, they haven't made it public.
A husband desperately wants an answer to who killed his wife.
It has been nearly 5 months since Liz Barraza was shot and killed in her driveway in Tomball while she was setting up for a garage sale. Investigators still have no idea who did it or why.
Houston Crime Stoppers and the 501st Legion have together offered a $20,000 reward for information that leads to an arrest in this case. And I have a number you can call and a website you can go to if maybe you live in the area and you do have information on this case. Although I'm sure that if you did, you'd probably already have given it to the proper authorities. And that is, for the most part, the end of this story as of now. Hopefully answers do come about at some point. As far as theories go, it's the usual. Some people are saying that the husband definitely was involved in some type of way. Others saying that maybe it was a mistress, maybe Liz or Sergio, one of them were cheating and there was some type of retaliation by the spouse of the other. We're not really sure. Some people are even saying that it could have easily just been a random occurrence. That is possible, but for me, it just seems so personal. For a person to wake up that early, this was definitely something that was planned. The way she reacted to the person, I don't know. From just looking at the video, to me, it seems as though that she at least recognized them at some point. Now, I would say the strangest thing about this case is the fact that the entire thing was captured on camera, but that there are still no leads to the case. Investigators haven't been able to find the truck, and maybe that's because it was maybe rented or borrowed. Or maybe the person sold the truck like immediately afterwards. Anything is possible, but I would think those are the more likely scenarios just because of the fact that they haven't been able to find the vehicle. I also really want to know if she was given a note, what was on that note, and do the investigators find it important at this point? Because they haven't made it public, but maybe that's because when they find the person who they think's the killer, they're going to use that as sort of, okay, well, if they could say what's on the note, then they definitely did this. Maybe they're just playing it really close to chest, or maybe they didn't share it with the husband because they do think he's involved in some way and they don't want to tip him off that they think he's involved, but they also don't want to just give him the evidence. This could easily just be maybe he caught a hit on his wife. I don't think it's that simple, but it could be. A lot of times murder cases, they are that simple. But hopefully we do find answers for this. I'm making a video on this because I just recently heard about this case and I do think it deserves to be in the spotlight as much as possible. All murder cases should be solved. That's just how I feel. Because the families need closure. The families need closure. They need to know that the person who did this is facing the proper charges and getting the proper punishment for what they did. So hopefully, in some way, maybe this video does bring more awareness to this case and there is justice for Liz. But that is where I'm going to end the video. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you guys continue to have a great day, great week, great month, great year. And I also want to say thank you for over 100 subs. I wanted this to happen. I knew it would happen at some point. I didn't think it would happen this fast. So thank you for everyone who subscribed and who is still watching the videos. I really appreciate it. But I will catch you guys next video.